I'm a top 10 ranked chess player in the state of New Hampshire. And over the years, I've realized there are many, many parallels between chess and how I build a financial plan. Today, I'm going to cover four of them and how you can integrate them into your financial plan. The first is think several moves ahead. Any any strong chess player is not looking at the next move and saying, how can I make the position next turn look the best? They're looking 5, 10, or even 20 moves down the line and seeing how it will affect that position. Similarly, in retirement, many people that are planning on retiring have they have a number they're going to hit when they turn 65, let's say. And when they hit that number, often they don't have any other plan from that. And their retirement plan can go up in flames because they had no idea what they were going to, they had no plan other than hit this number. Now, amateurs play the board in a similar way. They look at next move and they're like, oh, let's get to this position with no real clear plan. A professional, an expert, looks at the position and sees where they want to go 5, 10, or even 20 moves from now, and they aim for that point. You need to do the same thing in your retirement plan. Focus on what will happen in the future, 10 or even 20 years into the future. Now, the second parallel is protect the king. You can have a brilliant attack, but if your king is exposed, it ends the game instantly. It's over. I've played many games where I didn't castle, I chose to develop more, and delayed castling by even a move or two. And then I was punished for it because my opponent was able to find initiative to somehow cook up an attack, even though I didn't think there was much, and there wasn't really much until I didn't castle. Now, in retirement, making what seems like a little decision, let's say you take a little more risk in markets because you want a little more money, for instance, and you don't, it seems like a little decision, or you don't have an emergency fund. Now, things can spiral out of control if markets go down, which happens a lot. About a third of the time, markets go down. And if you happen to be right before a bad period, like between 2000 and 2013, that can completely torch your retirement plan. So you need to castle early, build a cash buffer similarly. People think they can avoid that, and then it hurts them when the market turns. Now, parallel 3 is sacrificing a piece for position. It's hard, and a lot of people will look at something similar like taxes, and they'll say, oh, why would I pay taxes today? Like, that makes no sense. I'm going to save money. But if you look at it 5, 10, or 20 years down the line, you're going to pay way more in taxes versus if you paid taxes today. Similarly, in chess, if you sacrifice a pawn or even a piece, it can end in you winning the game, or it can end in you getting an advantage a wedge that you push for the rest of the game, and slowly you overpower your opponent. The fourth parallel is don't react emotionally. A lot of people will, let's take in 2020 or 2021, there were inverse emotional reactions. People were like, oh, get me out of the market. I can't be in the market. And then in 2020 and then in 2021, everyone had to be in the market. Now, in chess, if you don't pay attention or you let the pressure get to you, it is incredibly easy to make blunders. Like, for instance, there's one game, I felt phenomenal. I was tied on 2.5 points with a couple people, and if I won that game, I was on board 2. If I won that game, it was a 4-round tournament, I would be second, or potentially first, even if the person on board won. lost their game. And I was in a position versus the highest ranked chess player in Vermont, and I saw a great move, and I instantly played it. So he thought for a little bit, and then he played another move, which completely shocked me. I had paid no attention to that. I had emotionally run ahead, played a move that looked really good, but in reality lost me the game. And that was a painful lesson, but I learned a lesson that day. Now, none of these are about being a genius. They're about studying, preparing, and following a plan that's built when you're calm, not when you're panicking. And when you're able to make a plan like this, often people will delay. But before I even play a game, when I'm playing chess, I know generally, okay, we're going to do something like this. And I know what I'm going to do in that game. So that's the whole job of Callidus Capital, helping families play the long game instead of reacting, and building the plan for that. If thinking a few moves ahead is how you want to approach retirement, you can subscribe and follow. And if you want to talk to me directly, there's a link in the description. Thanks for watching.